Hey there, YouTube. I got a starter here. This is the starter from my Toyota Corolla, and we're going to take this apart today. So, in order to do so, we need a few things. First, turn this around so you get the black back cap right here. This is, I believe, where do I have it? The sizes you'll need is a 12mm. Take off the larger lug nuts, and then you will need a 7mm. So these small little ones right here are 7mm, so we're going to take those off. Side of the way so you don't see that anymore. Okay, and now we have the plunger exposed. Carefully take this out. The reason is because there's a spring on there. So we're going to inspect this in a second, look and see if we can clean this all off, because this has some kind of crud all over it. But we'll do that in a minute. Now we're going to look inside here and see if it's worn. Now these are the brushes where they currently are, so there's a contact here and a contact here. I have matching contacts. These are the copper ones right here. We're going to pull those out and then put new ones in, clean this up, and see if we can get this to go. So let's do that now. So now we need our, this is the 14mm on this side. Now it's really important to take a video, photograph, look at this carefully, because it's easy to jack this up because you take it all apart and you forget what's where. So this is pushing in. I'm looking at how this is going. So I'm going to push this little piece through the copper bolt. And then ever so carefully. Okay, so this is how this goes in again. And then the nut goes on the back. So I'm going to set this nut here just to help us remember how this all went together. So that's one side. So you can see there's like red, but this is all kind of dirty. So we're going to clean this out. Now, inspecting this, let's see. It looks about the same. I mean, we're not, other than it being kind of dirty, I'm not saying anything really bad about that. You see that? I don't know why there's this piece of paper here. That kind of is sus to me, but, you know, we'll figure that out. So that's one side. We'll take apart the other one now. This side is a 12mm. Take the nut off, push this through if we can. So this little contact comes off like that. Now I have another nut on the inside of there, so we're going to have to take that one off. So let's set this here on that side. I always like to work sides of the workbench so I know what I'm dealing with. So I'm guessing the 14mm is what we need now for this other piece. Let's see if I'm right. Yep. Okay. So we're going to take this one. Same thing, push this through. Now we've got some pieces here, so we're going to carefully keep track of what is where by pulling this out. Putting it right back together like this. Come on, put it on. Now, the question is, why isn't this coming off? The reason is, this is soldered right here. So I'm going to have to do a little digging on that to find out. Because that contact is soldered on this side, but it's not soldered on... Well, this side is totally like... The plug, basically, I think, attaches to here. So that must just be where the design is. I'm guessing this might be our ground, but I'm not exactly sure. So we'll have to either way wiggle this out, and then we'll take this little contact spade that's in there and clean this all off. Then we're going to replace it with, see, this one is, I think this one, nope, this one, there we go. So this is the one. Now it comes with new copper bolts. These bolts don't look that bad either. So let's check and find out. Where's this one here? This is one side. That paper is interesting. I wonder why this is like that. So if you ever get to where you have something like this, you go nut, and you go line it up to like moving this place, and then washer, then this, and kind of make it in a line. That way you can do this correctly. Then rubber washer, and this piece is what I think it actually fit through. So now we're gonna leave a bit of a gap, and this is gonna go this. And then we'll pull this out here. So that's gonna go like that. I'm doing this also because I gotta put this thing back together. So, and this is our old bolt. Like, so I'm gonna clean these off, we'll replace them with the new ones and just see if this actually solves our problem. I didn't yank on any of these, so this should be good, but I may take the rest of this backside off just to check and see why we're having problems, because the issue we're seeing is we try to start it and it just goes clink, clink, and then sometimes it'll go and it'll just start. So something's definitely up with this, but I ordered another starter just to see what that's going to do, and it's like a used one as well, so I'm going to take that one apart. We took apart the starter, and now we're going to go ahead and line these pieces up in order. We're going to go ahead and put them back together, but I'm going to line them kind of up with their partners, if you will, just so we can use the rebuild kit and kind of match what exactly we had. New O-ring. This looks like this was done from the exact same. I don't know if you can see the lineup, but it's nearly identical. So this goes on here. Let me see, how does this go? So the bolt goes like this. The next thing is here. This O-ring. And that is almost right, but I forgot. I gotta put this contact on here as well. So let's make sure we have the contact in. There we go. Okay. Through the hole. And the rubber one just went right through, so that should be fine. We'll go here. Oops, sorry. We put this on. I believe it goes like that. And this piece here to hold it all in. Now you can see I got one contact in there. Now we're going to do the other side. So same thing, we're going to take the parts, lay them out, just take everything off and line it up. So this one was interesting because it had the nut. I put this on, but I think the rest of this stuff was actually on the outside. What's weird is this, like I said, there's a piece of paper. So here. O-ring. I'm going to say that person didn't know what they're doing. But either way, I'm not trying to be a jerk. Okay, so then I have these three pieces. So let's rebuild this setup right now. Here's this. This one has that little U shape. So we're going to go with, make sure this is the same kind. This is not. What about you? This is, okay. So like this. And then this just fell off. So we're going to use a new one of these. Okay, like that. Then I'm going to leave this paper off. That seems kind of stupid. Rubber. Then this piece goes on. And this is on the outside for sure. And then this piece here. And the nut. So let's put this inside. Kind of see what we got going on here. So, contact, correct orientation, and plastic doesn't want to go through there. So let's take it out and see. Does this one want to go through? It does. But we have to turn it a certain way. Okay. We'll try it again. Perfect. So, okay. So that's in there like that. Then we, and I don't necessarily, oops, drop on my rubber grommets. I don't necessarily know why this is here. There. That seems to be kind of an odd place like that. Because I feel like that doesn't really gain you much, but then the next thing is this, which is here. And I don't remember what the orientation was on that. So we're going to just set it right there. And then here, put the nut on. Okay, we've rebuilt the inside of the starter, guys. That's it. So please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, I just had to put these caps back on, but that's really easy. So I'm going to inspect everything one more time, just to look it over. But I think we can call this done. Might clean it up a little bit, hit it with some carb cleaner or something, but otherwise we're good to go. I just wanted to show you guys really quick the difference. This, see that edge right here? I don't know if we can zoom in on it, but that edge is actually worn compared to this new one. Now, these are not identical pieces, so don't freak out. I recognize that they're not exactly the same. But even if you looked at it from the side, you see there's a significant amount of removed material compared to this one. So if you can see that. So anyway, this is what we removed from one side, and then this was from the other side. Also has that groove cut into it. So I'm going to assume that that's what we would call worn. The plunger looks pretty good. When the way this mechanism works is my spring is still in there. So if you see the starters right here, see the new brushes. So it's hard to tell you exactly how this goes without just showing you, but when I go like this, that contact pushes, okay? That's what that does, and it's funny, every time you see that, it turns it. See, so it's engaging the flywheel to spin around. That's how that works. So this contact has to be solid to push that in and turn it. So you want to make sure that on the underside, I don't think it actually matters how sexy this side is, but right here underneath this surface, you want to clean that up really good. Mine, you can see, has a little bit of scoring. I'm going to see if I can order one just because I'm already here. I don't want to tear this thing apart again. But to get us back on the road, I'm considering just hitting some sand and dremeling this and making the copper, because it still is making good contact. I just might smooth that out to make it look a little nicer. So I'll go ahead and do that and then put it back together. I think I'm going to take the bottom part of the starter out and just check and see what's inside there. See what happens. Make sure I do it with a video, because I just literally was going through this bolt right here. I was trying to figure out, because the kit has this bolt. Those are not the same length. See that? And that's significant. Why? Because when I put this thing back in, I have to take my power and put it on this, which is a connector, and then I thread that nut on there. So if the other one was like flush right to here, which would have been great, but if I'd have done that and not paid attention, I would have literally stuck this thing in there, then been like, oh man, and then it pull it all out. And this isn't hard, but taking this thing out is a pain in the neck. It's only 2 bolts and 2 connectors, but it's just, you gotta raise the engine and raise the car up a little bit, get underneath to get 1 bolt, and I'll have to show you, but the other bolt they're kind of like this. So one's up in one place behind the airbox you have to get to, and the other one's down below, and so they're just not as easy, but I got it, we're good. So I'm gonna take the rest of this kind of apart. Maybe I'm gonna see what I can spray this off and clean this with, but it doesn't look too bad in there, so we may just call it a day. Anyway, guys, thanks again for everything. Please like and subscribe. See you guys next time.